Hello and welcome to NCC TechTV. I'm your host, Tanisha Wood, and today we have a great episode for you. We will begin at Nicholson Catholic College in the Providence Gym, where NCC TechTV reporter Sarah Parody will be interviewing Scott Hurley, a Nicholson phys ed teacher. We'll then head down to the life skills room in Nicholson, where Sarah Parody will be interviewing life skills teacher Miss Cassidy, as well as giving us a little tour around the life skills room. Finally, we will head downtown Belleville and get a glimpse of springtime in Belleville. We will begin this episode in the Providence Gym, where Sarah Parody will be interviewing Scott Hurley. Over to you, Sarah.
Hi, I'm Sarah Parody, and I'm here with Mr. Hurley, or better known as Scott Hurley today, and we have a few questions for him at Nicholson Catholic College. Our first question for you today here at Nicholson is, what is your job or role?
I'm a phys ed teacher here. I teach grade 9 to 12, several different subjects involved in phys ed.
Very interesting. So our second question today is, do you think that the rate of physical health in the students at Nicholson and or in just the Belleville area is at a good rate, or do you think it needs more improvement?
I think it's good, but as a phys ed teacher, I think it always can be better. I think there is some sedentary habits that have gotten into the students, but that's, I think, normal through all the generations. But no, I think it's pretty good.
Our third question today is, with the change in our provincial government to a now conservative government, do you think you've seen any changes to your job role or effects to the peers around you?
Directly, no. It takes a little bit of time for when a government changes over for the policies to be implemented and that to trickle down and affect me. So my day-to-day is still very good. However, I have noticed a few budgets have been changed and a few programs have been cut. So every government has a right to do that, and we'll see where it leads.
Thank you. And then our final question is, what is the most interesting event that you've had in your teaching career?
It's funny because you asked me that question earlier, and I was thinking about it, and I taught a little kid to ski when I was teaching grade school, and he had a hard time getting his feet to be pointed in the right direction, and by the end of the day he was skiing. And that, I know it's the small little thing, but to me that was kind of one of the things that stands out for sure.
Kind of magical?
Yeah, it was for sure. He was a little guy. He was only about 9, so.
Oh, that's cute. Okay, thank you, Mr. Hurley, or better known as Scott Hurley. We're here at NCC at Tech TV. This is part 2 of our NCC Tech TV, and I'm going to interview Adzuki, who's a member of Nicholson Catholic College. Would you like to say hi, Adzuki?
Hello.
Our first question for you, Adzuki, is what class do you have with Mr. Hurley?
I'm taking grade 12 regular fitness class.
The second question that we have for you, Adzuki, is what do you like most about Mr. Hurley as a teacher?
He's very unique, and he always think about us, so that's what I like him. Yeah.
Do you think students get enough physical activity here in Belleville, or do you think they should join more gym classes like Mr. Hurley's?
I think they play enough, but I recommend Mr. Hurley's class because his class is very great and very fun class.
Thank you, Adzuki, for your time. Back to you, Tanisha.
Thanks, Sarah, for such a great story. Nicholson has a fantastic life skills room, and over there right now is Sarah Parody, an NCC Tech TV reporter, who will be interviewing Miss Cassidy, a life skills teacher. Over to you, Sarah.
Hi, I'm Sarah Parody, and you're here at NCC Tech TV, and I'm going to be interviewing Mrs. Cassidy from Nicholson Catholic College. The first question that we have for you, Mrs. Cassidy, is what is your role here at Nicholson?
I'm the Life Skills Developmental Center teacher at Nicholson, and I work with all the students in the school that have developmental disabilities, such as Down syndrome, autism, physical disabilities, other things like that.
The second question we have for you is why did you get into this job?
I got into this role because I wanted to learn more about students that learn differently or had different challenges when they're learning. So you have to take a lot of extra courses to do it, but you definitely see results in the students. I'm a little bit motherly, and they're very caring and kind and honest. And when you see success, like when you teach someone to read, or they can walk better, or they can be social with their friends and productive in society, it's just a really good feeling.
And the third question we have for you is what is your favorite part of the job and or what makes it so special?
I love the kids. the kids are every day. I don't think too many teachers have high school kids come in and hug them first thing in the morning and go, "Oh, Mrs. Cassidy," and they're funny and creative, and they're so much smarter than everybody gives them credit for. They're just kind of a joy to work with.
Now for part 2 of the segment, we're going to get an in-class view of the class in action doing science. Now for part 3 of our segment, Mrs. Cassidy is going to give us a tour of the Life Skills Center.
We now have a bed with bedding and all the cupboards that we do all the lost and found in, and the kids learn to iron their clothes, wash their bedding, dry their bedding, and make a bed.
Very interesting.
In this room here, we have a washer and dryer so that kids can learn how to wash and dry their own clothes. And then in our bathroom, we have full shower facilities so that they can also learn how to, she's going to come around here, I think, Sarah. So they can learn how to shower properly and go through proper hygiene. We have a full working kitchen where they're learning how to cook and prepare their own meals, and they have microwaves so that they can heat up their lunches and things like that. This is our main academic area. Right now, Adam's working on language. Most of the other kids are out of the school at this time, and we have a few sick today as well. So they do dancing on the big screen for their phys ed component, and usually language, math, and general life skills like cooking and the hygiene and things like that I talked about. This little area here is our little reading area. So often kids will want to pick a book that they like, and we have more than one copy of a lot of them, so we can either help them read along or read along with them. And if they have to make a summary, let's say, of a story, then we know what they've read as well. And then we have one more room, which is our sensory room. So kids can use it for either just a quiet place if they need a break, or the lights are good and the bubble tube, the bouncing good to get rid of energy, and the swings. And actually inside the cupboard there's lots of things like weighted blankets and sensory items that they could use with their hands or around their neck and stuff. On our board, we have all our kids' pictures up on the boards, just so if we have a supply teacher in, they have a face to who they're working with, and we usually try to post up all their accomplishments on that board as well. Sometimes they keep their backpacks here. They also have lockers, but if they're in and out of the classroom, let's say to go to co-op and stuff, sometimes it's easier to just leave the backpack here, so they're all marked with their names, and they can pick their stuff up easier instead of going all the way back to their locker. All of the kids have their own little bins with what they work on through the day. So if one of the educational assistants or myself is away, someone coming in out of the room could pull the binder out, and they would have all the books that student would need to work through the day.
Finally, I want to thank Ms. Cassidy for the opportunity to film her life skills class. Thank you, Ms. Cassidy.
You're welcome.
Thanks again, Sarah, for the wonderful tour and story. Nicholson sure does have a nice life skills room. And finally, to conclude this episode, we will head downtown Belleville to get a glimpse of what springtime in Belleville looks like.
Thanks for introducing the episode, Tanisha. Now I'm going to show you various wide shots and close-ups of Belleville during springtime.
Wow, springtime in Belleville is quite beautiful. Thanks for watching and tune in to next week for another great episode.